Morning, sweet ones. Feeling the magic. Welcome to the total eclipse of the heart. There are many of you who are asking me, I'm really nauseous. I'm really hungry. I'm really this. I'm really that. Sweet ones, it's really helpful to understand that if your body is requiring extra sleep, honor that. If you constantly seem to be hungry, craving chocolate, craving sugar, honor that. You know, it's really helpful to communicate with your vessels and ask, is this something you're needing right now? You know, is it something that is coming up to be released? Because there are cravings that will present themselves that are presenting itself just to release it, rather than that your body's actually needing it. So really allow yourselves to communicate with your vessels. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Alea. Good morning, Nando. Salami. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Teddy. So as sweet ones, as we go into this total eclipse of the heart, you know, it's really helpful to spend as much time outside during this eclipse as you can. Can we talk about this now? Talk about what, Teddy? Tell me what you'd like to talk about, sweet one. Good morning, Lorraine. Good morning, Amy. Big hugs and blessings. So know that your vessels are going through intense calibrations and upgrades during these times. And Nando says, I'm eating lots of sugar. I think I'm going to change my name to Sweet. There you go. You know, one thing that's really helpful to understand, sweet ones, when these energies come in, when these light encoded filaments come in, it will, what the sugar does, sugar, chocolate, those cravings, is it literally helps keep you grounded and anchored, if you will, your vessel, because the more light encoded filaments you take in, sweethearts, the more you want to float, if you will, in that blissfulness. And the purpose of grounding, of earthing, of salt baths, you know, hugging a tree during these integrations is to keep you grounded so you're not floating. You know, when I say, you know, I live in a higher realm, it's not that I'm floating up there. I'm still very much anchored into the grid. I just stay, you know, it's not for me to lower myself down, it's for you guys to rise up to my frequency. And that's what you're doing. And so you don't want to float, sweet ones. You want to stay in that. You want to anchor that higher frequency in, and that's where the sugar and the cravings come in, and why so many of you feel hungry all the time. I had stated in a video, I don't know, many of them, but you will find that through heavy periods of heavy, intense, bathing and integration of these light encoded filaments coming in, that you go through spaces where you gain a lot, what seemingly seems like you gain weight, and then you lose it. That's why, because you're bringing these in, you're integrating them, and you are hungry, you do crave that sugar, and this is where it's really helpful, sweet ones. Don't judge it. You know, if you gain 5 or 10 pounds, 20 pounds, don't judge it. You know, don't put me in secure mode, please. When you sit there and say, I need to lose weight, it's helpful to understand, just as everything is a polarity, so too, just like your optic nerve, when you see something, it goes through your eyes and it is inverted into your brain. So too does the words you speak. So when you sit there and say, I need to lose weight, all your vessel hears is the opposite of lose. So it tells your vessel gain weight. When you speak, I need to go on a diet. This yada yada yada. Again, everything is a polarity. Your vessel hears the polarity of it. So it's very, very helpful, sweet ones. Observe the words you speak and change the way you speak. Anything you say after I am, I have, I can, I will, I shouldn't, I couldn't, I wouldn't. I mean, observe. This is very important right now. Joshua, to answer your question, Joshua says, is that Epsom salt or can be another kind of salt? Sweet ones, this is what I would encourage. A quarter salt of Himalayan pink salt, a half a cup of baking soda, 2 cups of Epsom salt, and a half a cup of sea salt. And then I add lavender oil, patchouli, and tea tree oil to my bath. That's what I personally do. But for a salt bath, I would really encourage you, sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. You don't have to do all that I do. But I would encourage at least sea salt and pink Himalayan salt with some Epsom salt and baking soda. And it's also helpful to understand you really want that water at a lukewarm. You don't want it very hot. The more each of you can get into the habit, if you will, and again, validate anything I suggest or say within. Your natural, think of it as seawater, sweet ones. Your vessel's 85-90% of water. And you will find that the more you allow yourselves to revert to lukewarm or cold showers, the more beneficial to your vessel, if you will. So many of us had used, and I don't anymore, but I used to take very, very hot showers, and that really does deplete your vessel, sweet ones. Again, validate that within. Good morning to everybody who's joined. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. Aslan, let's see. I'm eating lots of... Okay, I seen that one. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up here. Aaliyah, I'm sleeping since Friday. That's okay. Your vessel needs that integration. Don't judge it, sweet ones. Pamper your vessels. Your bodies are going through, and especially the masculine right now. Your vessels are going through a tremendous amount of recalibration. And with that, again, comes the cravings with a lot of sleep. Honor that sleep, sweet ones. Good morning, Betsy, Aaliyah, Brian, Lorraine, everybody else I missed. Katie's going. I'm going down to the ocean this afternoon to cleanse. That's with this solar eclipse, sweet ones. If you can be by water as you're watching it, or even if you can't see it, if it's cloudy or whatever where you're at, still allow your spend that time outside, get as much of these energies as you can. With this total solar eclipse and reset today, all of humanity is all in everything. Whether it's a being, whether it's a tree, plant, whatever it may be. The entire earth is going through a whole upgrade of love. The hearts are being opened in all of humanity in ways that even the unawakened are not necessarily going to know what's going on. But there is going to be a heart consciousness that is going to bathe this planet in ways that can only allow even the unawakened to rise. And that's the glory of this total eclipse of the heart, because literally it is a total eclipse of the heart. It is a reset. It is a reboot. And even the unawakened, their hearts will be opened. And this is where we really, those of us who really truly are in awareness and awakened to what is going on, we need to be that pillar of peace. We need to be that pillar of light. Because with this heart consciousness that is going to bathe this planet from this eclipse forward, the feminine has taken back her throne. And this is going to be very prevalent in the unawakened. In the sense that when your heart gets cracked open, how many of us know what happens? When your heart gets cracked open, all of that darkness and density and heaviness that is in your heart is going to come to the surface. And you're going to find the next 40 days are going to be very chaotic, going to be very turbulent because of that. Because this total solar eclipse is putting us in a reset. It is cracking open the hearts of every being on this planet. And allow that love to bathe it. But when love bathes anything, when light bathes anything, sweet ones, it brings up all that is not love to the surface. So really observe, the chaos that is coming up. Because really all it is purging and cleansing. And honor that purging and cleansing with as much peace as you can. Really stay right here, heart-centered. For those of you who use crystals, I really encourage you, if you have a moonstone, a selenite, rhodonite, rose quartz, and a sunstone, and citrine, really, those are really going to be beneficial during this eclipse. What else here? Let me see. Brian says, I heard cold showers are good. They're very beneficial, and the more you can allow yourselves to move from that hot shower to a lukewarm and cooler bath shower, the more beneficial it will be for your vessels. Aaliyah says, it's ironic you say that. I just stopped taking hot baths about 3 weeks ago. Good morning, Mary Katie, whoever I've missed. Aaliyah, I saw something saying not to be outside at all because they are releasing some kind of bacteria. Fear-mongering, absolutely. It is most beneficial, sweet ones. You're going to hear all of this stuff saying, about the Native Americans, this and that, and how they all stay inside. The most beneficial thing you can do for yourself is to be outside and take in as much of these energies as you can. And you're going to find there's going to be a lot more of that saying, no, stay inside, stay inside. They're telling you to stay inside because they don't want you to get these energies. And when you're inside, you don't receive as many. Being outside, you'll receive more. Katie says, what do you think about the articles going around? I didn't see yours, Katie. I seen Aaliyah's. It's a sacred event that shouldn't be watched. No eating or drinking until it's over. I'll agree with the not eating. The drinking, sweet ones, I really encourage you to drink water. Citrus water, alkaline water with lemon, orange, grapefruit in it, lime. And I'll always encourage you. Water cannot hurt you in any way, shape, or form. Not at all. I also encourage you, it's very beneficial for you guys to drink water with a little bit of baking soda in it every day. That helps keep your vessel in acidic alkaline balance. I wear my crystals too. Actually, most of my crystals, very seldom do I wear them on, but I got rose quartz on today. But I have a whole lot of crystals. I wear a whole lot of crystals in my bra. That's where I keep them. Good morning, Laura and Neva. How you doing, sweet ones? Big hugs and blessings. How is the effect of the eclipse going to last? Amy, I'm not... Hey, you two, quit fighting now. Go on. I tell you, these energies are getting my dogs all riled up. My goodness. That and they're so loving, all they want to do is be on my lap. No, you guys go play off of my lap now. And, Amy, I'm not sure exactly what you were asking me pertaining to, and let me tell you why. How is the effect of the eclipse going to last? It's going to last... It's just not. These energies of this eclipse can last up to the next 2 years. It's not. These energies are not going to go away anytime soon. Because, again, it's a total eclipse of the heart. And that's why I say, when the heart gets cracked open, So these energies are going to hang around. And the beauty of it is it's a total eclipse of the heart. It's going to be bringing in all of those energies now of the divine feminine bathing this planet with love. She's taking her stand next to her king. And, now you're going to see as the king and queen reign together, there's going to be little bumps and stuff until they come into total harmony and balance, because with the feminine taking her stand, you know, the masculine is still in some resistance. And as long as there's that resistance, there's going to be, you know, stepping on each other's toes in this glorious magical dance between them. So really love yourself through this. The effects of this eclipse is ongoing. It's not just for the 2 hours, you know, of its trail. You know, the sun rises in the east, sweet ones. There's a purpose why this eclipse is starting in the west rather than starting in the east. Now, with it starting in the west, it's following the moon's path here. And the moon is the feminine, is you know, even though you have, and another thing to understand, with this total solar eclipse today, it's a new moon. This is the second new moon this month in Leo. Leo represents the sun, the heart of the lion. And the feminine is the heart of spirit. And this, you know, the full moon we just had in Aquarius, right in between two new moons of Leo. So, you know, there's a purpose as to why this is starting on the west coast and following the moon's path. So even though the sun represents the ego and the power and the control in that sense, you got the feminine right smack in the middle of these two new moons in her full moon glory. And that is the underlying energy here. And that is the energy that's, you know, that's the Trinity. Look at it. The two new moons in Leo and the full moon in Aquarius. The divine consorts. The feminine and the divine. Look at the Trinity there. Two new moons in Leo. Father, Son, Mother. I mean, you got a Trinity here. And this is beautiful. Okay, Aaliyah says, anyone else experiencing heat flashes? There's many that's experiencing hot flashes and cold spells. And Lorraine says, my fur baby's shame getting cuddles and kisses from him. Rose, my heart is dancing right now. Emmy, the eclipse will be at nighttime here in Italy, so you suggest to stay outside. I'll always suggest for you guys to stay outside. And the reason I do that, you know, even if it's in the middle of the night and you are up, I encourage any of you to go sit outside if you're awake in the middle of the night. You know, those early morning hours, that is when you connect to spirit the easiest, if you will. And being outside during this eclipse, whether you're in Italy and you are not seeing the full thing, or you're here in the States and you're able to see it, it's going to hit here, I believe, right around 11:30 Central Standard Time. 11:22 or something like that. And so, really, when you allow yourself to be outside, you're anchoring all these light-encoded filaments that are coming in. You're able to anchor them at the same time they're coming in, if you will. That's not quite accurate, but it helps anyways, because you have to integrate them and then anchor them. But you can anchor it in as you're sitting out there. Where am I at? Aaliyah, when you get those hot flashes, beautiful, take a cool bath. That will help you. That, or go into a natural water source. If you guys can be near a natural water source during this eclipse today, that's going to benefit you greatly. Sophia Grace, I'm an Aquarius. That my son Joseph is a Leo. Sophia Grace, I'm a Capricorn Aquarius with Aquarius rising, but I have Leo as my moon and Aquarius is my sun. Capricorn Aquarius is my sun. So my polarity to this eclipse is exact opposite. So you can imagine what it's going to do to me. Same with the lunar eclipse. It was in a direct polarity there too. So this is intense. You know, it's beautiful, but it's intense. Let's see, where am I missing here? What time do you wake up every day? My schedule just changed, and I'm up at 5 every day, weekend 6. Jen, it's really helpful to understand that the higher in frequency you go, the more you intake in your light. Your vessel only requires 2 to 3 hours of sleep. You're asking me when I get up when my team tells me to get up. And that can be, sometimes I don't even go to bed until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. There's days I can go 2 and 3 days I just can't sleep. The energy's coming through me. My normal schedule to get up is usually between 2 and 4. Because I usually go outside and spend time, communicating with Gaia and Creator and my team, but you will find there are times when your schedules you're gonna find you used to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and go to bed at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and now you're up all night, and you're not, and it does your body's calibrating. And your natural state of being, sweet ones, seriously, your natural state of being, you rise with the sun and you go to bed when it sets. And we all know that there's times when the sun sets at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Your animals, everything is calibrated to that natural cycle. And it's only the human aspects that have been enslaved that you have to get up and go to work, and you have to be on a schedule. Your vessel's schedule, the natural state of being is the schedule, is you rise with the sun and you rest when it rests. I hope that made sense. Others try to control our sleep. It belongs to the conscious collector, absolutely. And you guys will really find, sweethearts, that even though there is going to be much chaos and whatnot that arises from the hearts of all of humanity being broken open, you're really going to find with as much chaos and turbulence it brings up, it's going to bring up a whole lot of grace and more peacefulness and gentleness as well. And even though you may not see it in the family and friends and those around you, that's where you come in. There is a divine purpose for each of you being where you're at and being surrounded by those unawakened, because your light helps not only neutralize, harmonize, and balance all of it around you that are not awakened, it also helps to activate them. And even though they may, if you plant a seed and they may resist it, sweethearts, their DNA and their subconscious gets it. Even if they resist you. But you're in amongst all those unawakened for a purpose. And that's that purpose. You are that pillar of light. And not only does that light access, integrate into their darkness, if you will. And all the darkness is the condensed, is the walls and chains around your heart. All darkness exists within your heart. And that's why we say there's nothing outside of you, even though, to the human aspect. There is nothing real right now, sweet ones. And even though it may appear that, everything outside of you is real, there is nothing real right now. Everything is changing second by second, moment by moment. And that's why I really, really encourage you. Don't get caught up in, are you giving me kisses? You want to say hi? Say hi. No, say hi. Say hi. Say hi. No. Come on now. And Snoopy trying to give kisses. He just will not leave me alone. I'm telling you, both of them are constantly jumping on me. See? Look at them. They just want to play. That's all they want to do. And so allow yourselves to really, no matter what this outside seemingly presents, it's not real. And you really got to keep telling yourself, yes, I understand the emotions and come on, boys. Come on now. Get off of me. I really understand that to the human aspect of us, this seems very real. The turbulence, the chaos, the everything that is coming up to be purged. I get it, sweet ones. I'm not trying to say that what you're going through is not real. And I know many get on me when I say that this is an illusion. But sweet ones, this is changing. This outside world is changing and so much right now. And again, if you step back and you allow yourself to observe, there's a lot of morphine going on right now. And that's why I say, anything that's going on is not real. It's fluctuating, it's changing, because even the outside physical world is manifesting, is morphing into those higher frequencies. And as this total solar eclipse of the heart is a splitting of the worlds. And that's where this chaos is going to be for the next 40 some days. Because those timelines are splitting. These worlds are splitting. And so nothing is real. And if you can keep in your hearts and keep that within, and that understanding and that knowing within you, that even though it seems very, very real, it's morphine, sweet ones, and it has to be purged, just like you have to purge everything out of your vessels. Let's see, where am I at here? It's our job to do this. This is where you really got. This is where we unify, sweet ones, and this is where we come into unity. We don't come into oneness. We're already oneness, but we come into unity. And it don't matter if your beliefs are the same as mine. It does not matter if you're on a different level of frequency. When you can get into your heart and stay in your peaceful heart, it don't matter if you resonate with somebody or not, whether they're right next to you or whether they're across the globe. You still can come into unity in the sense by staying in your heart and focusing on that love vibration, sending that love vibration out. It don't matter if you look at somebody as your worst enemy, you still can stand beside them. If you stay in your peaceful heart, regardless if your beliefs are different, regardless if they're awake, you're awakened and they're not. You can still take their hand and say, let's set aside our differences and just focus on this love. And that's what unity is, sweet ones. Allowing and accepting everyone to be where they are, who they are, how they are, whatever they desire they are. And accept it and still extend your smile, extend your heart, extend your trust, extend your hand. We have been taught to distrust everybody, to distrust them by their looks, to distrust them how they dress, to distrust them how they live, to distrust them how their skin color. And right now it is up to us, regardless if we resonate with their beliefs, regardless if we resonate with the frequency and the timelines they are on. This is where you are being asked to allow the walls, the borders, the differences to dissolve and to disintegrate, and to still extend your hand to what you seemingly see as your enemy, and make the effort to take the step to say, look, I know we have differences. I'm willing to accept your differences. I'm willing to accept you for who you are. Please accept me. I extend my love. I extend my trust. I extend my hand. And that's what it is, sweet ones. That's what this is all about right now. And even if you don't resonate with them and you do not want to extend and hear my words here, please extend that trust. Because we have been, as a humanity, we have been enslaved that you cannot trust anybody. And the only way to change that, sweet ones, is to change the energetic behavior pattern, and it begins with us. If we cannot extend that trust first, nobody else is going to do it. That's why we're called the way showers. And no matter how much our egoic mind wants to sit there and step in and do its job and put that fear there and put that protection there on us, we have to set it aside and still extend that trust. No matter how little it is for us to extend that love, for us to extend that trust, for us to walk up to that homeless person or what society says that evil person and extend our hand and say, I am willing to be here for you. Enough. I am willing to put down the differences between us. Please take my hand. And some will and some will not, and that's okay. At least extend that smile, extend that love, extend that trust, offer it, and put a seed in their hearts. All right, let me see. And Michelle, it's not even a matter of agreeing to disagree. Allow that duality to go. Allow that, those labels to go, and just, that's just, instead of agree to disagree or a positive, negative, figure out whatever works for you, sweet ones. In the sense of changing that duality, that polarity, and maybe instead just refer to them as borders or walls. Whatever it may be. But with this, we need to change the way we think, the way we speak, collectively. And with that comes new definition of words, new creation of words, like I say, Twitter, understand. Snoopy, that is enough. Come here. You don't need to fight over toys. My goodness, you guys got enough of them. And so, really that's where we're at, sweet ones, and that's what this total eclipse of the heart is going to do. It's really going to open us up to wanting to extend that love, that grace, that blessing. And, that's the beauty and the magic of this. Do you feel this equinox and the rise of the feminine aspect will help to calm the social and political tension and craziness that is currently going on? Betty, it's really helpful to know. Sweethearts, it's really helpful to know what seemingly to be political craziness is a front. They want you guys to focus on the craziness. We want you to focus on the craziness. That's, Trump is the greatest blessing the United States of America could have. And I know a lot of people disagree with that, but they're seeing the surface. What they don't understand is that Trump is the greatest diversion that we could have been blessed with. Because in his arrogance, in his tactics, humanity's focusing on that. And while humanity is focusing on that, we're getting so much done behind the scenes. Humanity's been graced. Simple as that. Humanity has been graced. And Trump has been a great diversion tactic to keep humanity in that space of focusing on his craziness and his arrogance and his ego, so they would have something to bitch and moan and complain about while we're handling everything under the scene, behind the scenes, getting everything done. And that's the blessing Trump has graced all of America with, regardless of how the individual wants to judge him and bitch and moan and complain about him. He has done a great favor in service. So, do I feel like the rise of the feminine? Will it help calm? Yes, but again, Betty, for as much as the feminine energy is going to bathe this planet, with that, in the total solar eclipse of the heart, is going to crack open the hearts of humanity. Again, when you shine light into condensed light, or what humanity labels as darkness, it rises to the surface. And right now, this total solar eclipse is literally emptying your cups. Whereas before, you guys have slowly emptied it to allow slowly new to come in. Now your cups are being fully emptied. And a whole lot of new is coming in. And with that whole lot of new coming in, you know, you have, again, that balance. When you have new come in, you're going to have old come up. And so, yes, it will. And no, it'll seem like it don't, Betty. I really hope that made sense to you, sweet one. And so really, sweet ones, stay in your heart through this. Really, if you find yourself starting to communicate, to be, or whatever in these lower energies, really focus on that higher energy, sweet ones. Turn on some solfeggio, positive vibrational music, whatever you have to do. But really keep yourself in that high frequency, the highest possible frequency you can do. If you start finding yourself getting frustrated, teetering, emotional, go outside, lay on the grass, hug a tree. I'm telling you, if you can get a fresh flower and hold in your lap while you sit outside during this eclipse, especially if it's a rose, that energy is going to make a very great assistance, if you will, in these loving energies. And that's why I say, those of you who work with crystals, rose quartz, we all know that's that carries an unconditional love energy. Snoopy, come here. Come here, baby. Rhodonite, when you're emotional, rhodonite is a very good crystal for unconditional self-love. And, of course, with the total solar eclipse, the moonstone and sunstone are going to be very beneficial. That deer really don't need you to bark at it. Come on now, get in here. Leave those deer alone. Go outside on the back. And so he runs right back out to the front. he's like an obstinate little kid, I'm telling you. And so that's why I say, for those of you who use crystals, in a fresh flower, holding it in your hand or near your heart during this total solar eclipse. The activation I put up yesterday about saying 33 times, I am the hardest spirit. Get in here. I'm not listening to you bark. Go. Go on. Go on. Thank you. And it is really going to, again, sweet ones, this is magical. And as the separation of the worlds commences, really, at this totality today, the higher in frequency you can be, the more better off you are. Because that's going to determine, in that space of totality, it is going to weigh your heart against a feather. And the higher in frequency you are, the more magical your new experience that you're anchoring in is going to be. But again, it's all a balance for, for every polarity you're going through. You can't have one polarity without the other. So as much love is going to be bathing this planet, much chaos is going to come up. Be that pillar of love. Be that pillar of peace. Our dark forces entering through the eclipse, light overcomes dark. Just curious. I'm going to say this, and there's many that will disagree with me, and that's okay. There is no thing outside of you, including dark forces. Again, everything on this outside is real as it is, and we are severing ourselves from the old matrix of what is called the dark forces. So, sweet ones, Don't even speak it into existence anymore. Who cares? That's the old. And those dark forces and yada yada yada, they have no place on the new grid. So why even worry about it? It no longer matters. And as long as you allow the old matrix to matter, you will stay in that old matrix regardless. You know, you can keep yourself in a high frequency and you can set your new reality, but if you fall back into that old, you're going to fall right back out of that new reality. So, you know, why even speak it? Why even focus? Who cares about the dark forces? The dark forces can only prevail if you let them prevail. If you keep them in your awareness. You know, you want to sit there and you no longer want to see pedophilia. Then stop talking about it. Stop focusing on it. Stop allowing it into your awareness. You see it, just let it go. Send love to it and let it go. You know, you see abuse, send love to it and let it go. It's no longer a part of your reality, but the more you focus on it, the more you sit there and say, this is happening, this is happening. I get that it's happening. But it's happening because you're letting go of an old reality, an old world, an old way of being. I get that to the human aspect, it's happening. That doesn't mean you have to participate in it. You don't have to speak it. You don't have to focus on it. Well, it's our job to help these people through it. It's not your job to sit there. It's your job to find that space in here and to hold their hand while they release it. To give them light, to give them love and hold space for them. It is not for you to hold their hand and say, I'll go play in the darkness with you. You follow what I mean? And so, you know, it's a choice, sweet ones. From this point on, it's literally going, that's where you're going to really see your mastery. Serious. That is where you're going to see your mastery. Because from this point forward, through this total solar eclipse of the heart, you have to master yourself to stay in that higher frequency of that new reality you want. Because if you do not master your words, you do not, like I do, put me in secure mode. If I go to help somebody and I go to guidance because their frequency is so emotional, I sit there and I tell my team, put me in secure mode, please. Because as long as I'm in secure mode, just like at the beginning of this video, put me in secure mode. What I speak will not create. Because when I am in secure mode, that means I'm in a guidance space, that I am assisting in the lower frequencies, neutralizing, harmonizing, and balancing them. Therefore, I do not want to create that. And when you can understand how powerful you are, when you can come into that space and know you have control, if you allow yourself to have control. Master your mind, master your words, master your thoughts, master what emotions you're entertaining. If you're entertaining, just like I said yesterday on my video, when I said, detach the emotions of the adult you. Don't allow the adult you with this stuff coming up to create the new pattern. That's why you have to step back and detach. Because all that is coming up to be released is from the inner child, not the adult. And if the adult attaches new emotions, you're recreating it. And that's why it's really helpful to really focus and pay attention. Because if you're entertaining the emotions that are coming from here, rather than the emotions that are created through the love of your heart, and there is a difference. And this is what this total eclipse of the heart is really going to do. Is really going to assist you in stepping up in your mastery. This is a beautiful thing, sweet ones. It truly, truly is. Thank you, Kelly. many people say my eyes are very hypnotizing, and even more so when they're in my physical presence. Most people can't look into my eyes for more than a few seconds. For some, I've had some sit there and say, "You need to get away from me." It's like I feel like I'm being electrocuted, and so, for myself, that's something that's been really hard for me. Again, that goes with being accepted and whatnot, and being shunned, and it is what it is. We are just love. So, yep, Kelly, the inner child's really going to come through for, and again, this total solar eclipse, it's breaking open the heart. So you're really going to see a lot of that inner child stuff that you haven't dealt with really come up. And that's okay. Love yourself through it. Love each other through it. Hold your hands and reach out if you need to. But understand, only you can face your darkness of your heart. And we can hold space and love you through it. And be that shoulder. And it's really necessary to allow yourself. So often we have been told that, and we have been shown that we have to be alone during our misery. That we can't openly talk about it. That we can't share it because nobody needs to know your business. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. And no, the whole thing about this, sweet ones, and that's why light is bathing your hearts, to make your hearts lighter than a feather. Because when you allow yourself to become transparent, there are no closed doors. There are no hidden secrets. There is no hidden anything. You allow yourself to become transparent. And that's the beauty of this. That's the magic of this. So really allow yourself to find that magic, And thank you, Emmy. Kelly, it was like a memory portal, lucid dream in daytime. Absolutely. And for you, even if you guys don't remember parts of your dreams or your dream time, much is being collapsed in it, truly. And by collapsing it in dream time, you're coming to a space where you're not having to experience that karmic energy in the physical. So really feel into the beauty of these energies, sweet ones, and allow your heart to soar. Allow you to step through this total solar eclipse of the heart into the highest new frequency of reality you can be. And, and drink lots of water through it, as the water will help anchor, but it will also assist with releasing everything that is not for your highest good even that much quicker. And it will also integrate these energies and flow it through your vessel much more gracefully. So, it's right before the sun should be rising here pretty soon. And so really just be heart-centered, sweet ones. And do whatever you can to keep yourselves in that highest frequency possible through this total solar eclipse. I love you all. Have a great, great, great day. Big, big hugs and blessings. And I'm here for you. I will not be available for those 2 hours during the solar eclipse. I'll be outside, but enjoy, sweet ones. Step through this portal, this gateway, because these really are. This total solar eclipse really is the golden gates to heaven, if you choose it to be. We are the heart of God. That's right. Again, I really encourage you guys. I put that heart activation and that unity heart consciousness activation on my wall yesterday. I really encourage you guys to say it again during this total solar eclipse and really feel your hearts crack open even more. Expand. I shouldn't say crack open, but expand out more. This is glorious. Have a great day, sweet ones. I love you. Big, big hugs and blessings. Bye-bye now.